Artificial intelligence was founded as an academic discipline in 1956, and in the years since has experienced several waves of optimism. Today, most of us would like to believe that brilliant programmers can automate fairly straightforward things like bookkeeping. After all, double-entry bookkeeping first appeared in the Middle Ages. However, success in automating what seemed to be simple things has proved surprisingly difficult. AI research has tried and discarded many different approaches since its founding. In the first decades of the 21st century, highly mathematical statistical machine learning has dominated the field, and this technique has proved highly successful, helping to solve many challenging problems throughout industry and academia. Machine learning takes two forms. Unsupervised learning finds patterns in a stream of input. It resembles space exploration more than training. Vast amounts of data are analyzed to discover patterns. This is where the term big data comes from. By contrast, supervised learning requires a human to label the input data first. The human supervisor determines what category something belongs to. Then the program sees a number of examples of things from several categories, and will eventually learn to classify new inputs. This is the approach used by bookkeeping software. And it requires a fair bit of training before it becomes sufficiently intelligent. However, the amount of data for an early-stage business is fairly small. And of course, every small business is a little different. It has different suppliers and different customers. The names of employees are different. So the supervisor must understand both bookkeeping and the underlying business. He or she must customize the training for each specific business. It usually takes a long time to assemble enough data, and the staff in the small business isn't usually skilled in bookkeeping. If they attempt to do the training themselves, they will often get it wrong.
The technician or accounting professional has to understand the needs of the particular business they're working on. Most important, though, is that the technician needs to internalize the accounting algorithm first, before they worry about which particular accounting software is best. In an example from the restaurant business, a good chef needs to be able to use his chef's knife well. With a cutting board, a chef's knife, and a sauté pan, a trained chef can do a lot of good work in the kitchen. The last 3 times we tried to order a particular pizza, we were told they didn't have any caramelized onions, and we couldn't get our favorite pizza. They told us they couldn't get any from their supplier, so I guess they were calling it a supply chain issue. Except, all that's required for caramelized onions is onions, cooking oil, and the standard set of chef's tools we mentioned earlier. Clearly, our favorite pizza place didn't have the cooking algorithm down appropriately. The availability and quality of new software tools is expanding quickly, but often the complexity and difficulty of integrating multiple tools isn't warranted, at least until simpler solutions become too cumbersome. We believe that internalizing the accounting algorithm is actually job one for the accounting technician. Once that's been done, knowing when to automate portions of the accounting system will be much easier.
If you want to become an accounting technician, you'll need to internalize the foundations of double-entry bookkeeping first. Before you can automate the process, you have to understand it thoroughly.